Hello, I'm Adriana. I'm a SoulPath Mastery teacher and guide, and today's reading is going to be for the feminine energy. So if you identify as a feminine energy or you'd like to see what's going on in the feminine energy in your body, so let's say you're more of a masculine energy, but you're aware of the balance of masculine and feminine, this is going to be talking about not only what we are working on personally, but what we're working on together. Feminine energy is all about connection and all about, all of us are in this together. So there's going to be kind of a global feel to this as well as an individual. Okay. What does the feminine energy need to know at this time? And I didn't start flipping these over. I guess I'm not going to start that now. I've been trying to do that, flip them over as I go, but I guess we're going to do a little more of a secretive reveal here. Okay, Four of Wands crossed with Eight of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. And we're going to start just talking about those two cards. So Four of Wands says that the development of the feminine energy is actually in a pretty good place. We have a nice feeling of joy, of expansion, and of feeling very centered. So if you're someone who's been working on trying to tap into more of your feminine energy, this card is a strong validation that you're on the right track and that you have definitely made some inroads forward with tangible results. And usually the tangible results we're looking for are in relationships with others, but I'm feeling like this is more of a confidence within yourself. Like you're more sure that you can count on that feminine energy. And the Eight of Pentacles is the challenge here. So what are we doing in our everyday life to create exactly the outcomes we want to see? What is our attitude as we go through every day? Eight of Pentacles is also looking at the interconnectedness and the cyclical nature of life. It's weaving the sacred tapestry of your life. And so I feel like with the Eight of Wands, there's an idea of linear progress. Like, okay, I used to not be able to do that before, but now I've gone over this milestone and I can do this. And it's kind of, what's the word? Trying to accumulate your sense of accomplishment through what has happened in a cause and effect kind of way. And the challenge is to see this not as a series of accomplishments, but as to see this as a way of life. Okay, I don't know if this is making any sense to you, but what's coming through is that feminine energy isn't something that we do in isolation. We don't just listen to our intuition or play a musical instrument or go with the flow or be open and receptive and wait for things to come to us. That's very feminine, attract what we want. This isn't just about the times when it's worked. This is about the practice of dedicating yourself to implementing all of these feminine energy activities, mindsets, but not expecting success or not always expecting a certain outcome. It's just really being in love with the process of putting it into your life and seeing what happens when you put it into your life. All right, let's get a little bit more interesting. Okay. Now we had Three of Wands, we have Three of Wands, we had Four of Wands. Conscious energy is Three of Wands. So as I said, you're consciously working on this. You're consciously creating this space for the feminine energy in your life, you're also constantly developing it. And I think, again, you're seeing real inroads, but Two of Cups is in the subconscious, and that is the relating of the divine feminine to the divine masculine. Again, Two of Cups is asking us, what is our relationship with the divine feminine? What really is? How do we really see it within ourselves? And I think also the challenge here is standing up in a relationship with the divine feminine. What we've learned over the past thousands of years really is how to bring the weak, unempowered feminine to relationships, the side that always wants to be taken care of, feels disempowered, feels victimized by what's going on. And there's a habitual pulling away from our own power. And the other thing that has happened is, because we haven't shown up as real and as true and as powerful, then the divine masculine has also become stunted, because they've been in relationship with something that's weak, something that's dependent, something that's overly emotional, that is difficult to trust, difficult to really get to the root of a heart connection. Again, that with that victimization, you tend to see very extreme, dramatic emotions. And that's the whole like stereotype where women are too emotional. No, what it means is that the feminine has not learned to honor their emotions, respect their emotions, but not to act on their emotions, to let the emotions come and give us wisdom, but not to react according to those emotions. So this is about really healing the relationship between yourself and, I feel, another divine masculine or the masculine within you. And as I said, right now, kind of what's happening is that the feminine is being a little too masculine, trying to assess our progress through accomplishment or through goals or through guideposts. This is something that really kind of frustrates me about like traditional business ways of looking at things. Like, what are your goals? Who are you trying to reach? How many are you going to meet by this certain time? And it's kind of like, well, but in a higher energy that's more in line with intuition and with the feminine energy, you can't always make those predictions, because it just depends on what's out there. It depends on what wants to come back to you. It also depends on what needs you in the moment. And when we try to access our feminine, but we try to put it into the context of a masculine linear accomplishment framework, we still don't fully connect with the feminine energy. So let me think of another way to describe this. It's less talking about milestones or goals or accomplishments more than it is talking about an experience of life. And it is in that experience because we've forgotten how to drop into that sense of flow. We've forgotten how to drop into that sense of allowing. And when we drop into that sense of flow and allowing, there's actually a deeper cosmic connection that happens between us and other people on a non-physical level. We're connecting on an energetic level. We're connecting on a non-tangible level, but it's a very strong, essential connection. And when we get so focused on external accomplishment or what that looks like, we lose that whole sense of interconnectedness. Now, I did get past and future cards, but I want to look at what else is happening here. Oh, good, another foundation card. Interesting. Okay, this is really interesting. Okay, so so I'm here, we need to get to here. I'm trying to figure out how we get the bridge in there. So we've been talking about how the feminine is trying to make herself masculine, But what really is at the bottom of this alchemy is that the feminine finds her own inner warrior. And that's what happens when masculine and feminine come together in a truly synergistic way. Okay, in the future, we have Queen of Swords. And that is the feminine energy empowered also by the masculine energy of the mind, of the connection to source, and the ability to look at truth without getting stuck in emotional confusion. All right, Four of Swords is in the past. So I think you've done a good job of listening to your body and knowing that you needed a little time out. But as you work through this, integrating the feminine energy into daily life, we're headed for the Queen of Swords, a moment where you stand up for yourself and you stand up for your truth, but you do so in a feminine connected way. Is the Queen of Swords someone else? Now, for some of you, the Queen of Swords is someone else. Can we get a little bit more? I feel like the Queen of Swords is someone, more mature woman, more mature feminine energy who really challenges you to stand up for what you believe in. Okay, Judgment and the Nine of Swords. Okay, yeah, so this confirms what I was saying, is that this is someone who helps you move past your limiting fears to rise above the past and become your true sovereign full self. She has the eagle on her shield, and there's a big eagle in the background up there. It's those white wings. So eagle is divine message, divine truth. And I feel like this person really helps you cut through the BS and see what's really at the heart of what's going on. And why is this important in our feminine energy reading? Because you are doing so much more work with the feminine, it's going to be easier for you to trust what she says to you. It's going to be easier for you to see what she's saying, and she's going to help you move out of some of that emotionality. The Hierophant is the advice from the higher self. And that is a couple things. It's really paying attention to your own divine connection. We have similar imagery here with the divine connection coming through the forehead. But it's like there's some inner wisdom or some inner truth, some like hidden gems that your higher self is asking you to focus on. And how you focus on this is through an inward journey. A lot of bears, a cow because of Taurus. I feel like there's more on this. See, usually like Queen of Swords and Hierophant are external. These are external forces to you. So the Hierophant may also be telling you to listen to words coming from a trusted mentor or a trusted, someone that you trust. But what else is going on here? I'm getting that he's pointing out the way to sacred knowing. So part of the feminine journey is really honoring, developing, and listening to your intuition, which is your inner knowing. And that's what I feel like the Hierophant is encouraging you to do. I have these wonderful rainbows. Do you see that there's multiple rainbows in all these cards, which is encompassing, it's all 7 chakras, but it's the idea of unity. And I feel like the Hierophant is asking you to trust that inner voice even more. Trust your inner knowing more strongly. On the Hierophant card, the colors of the rainbow are richer and not muted. This one is like glowing, but these are a little bit more like mature and rich. So there is a wealth of inner knowing. Okay, it's starting to come through. There are more feminine ancestors and more feminine wisdom that wants to connect with you. I think for some of you, this is going to be latent intuitive abilities really starting to open up, prophecy perhaps, reading of the future, which is prophecy, but a much deeper knowing than what you're used to receiving in the past. And that's why we can't just go through the motions of doing the feminine work. So I gave a reading for a client a long time ago, and I could see, and it was a tarot reading, and I could see that her energy was very scattered during the day. Like her mind was all over the place. And so naturally I asked, do you meditate? And she said, yeah, I meditate every day. I thought, okay, well, why is her energy still so scattered even though she's meditating? And so I said, well, tell me about it. What do you do? She goes, well, I get up and then I find my app and I find my thing and I meditate for 10 minutes and I get my breakfast and so she's going through the motions without actually taking time to rest in the presence of what she was doing. It was another thing she was ticking off her box, like every day I should brush my teeth, every day I should exercise, every day I should do these things. And a lot of times on the spiritual journey, we get stuck in the mechanics. We think that if we've gone through the motions, we're going to reap the results. But we need presence. We need presence to really reap the benefits of what's going on. And so the Hierophant is asking you to have a deeper inner presence with yourself going through life. Energy from the outside, Four of Pentacles. I like this with the Four of Wands. There's a lot of support here. This is, you're seeing, again, spiritual foundations being laid. You might see more support for what's going on, but I think, we've had 3 4s, 444 in this reading. And so I feel like this is another message that you've got a multi-dimensional stability going on. You've got physical, material stability. You've got the stability of your health. You've also got stability of mind. So I think this is all really positive. Now your higher self, your actual, what you'd like to get from this, 9 of 9, the Hermit. And so you are realizing that you do need to spend some time inward, looking for that wisdom, looking for that inner knowing. But I'm wondering why we've gotten the Hierophant and the Hermit, which again are masculine energies when this was about the feminine. I think that there's still an element of control. I think that, at least, from my experience, the hardest part of following your intuition is being out of control, not knowing what's going to come through, not knowing, just not knowing what's going to come through. I really struggled with this a lot when I started doing readings for people, because they might not like what's coming through, or I might be wrong, or, what if I say the wrong thing? That was other junk going on, but I have no idea what's going to come through. And especially when we're looking for ourselves, we have certain things that we'd like to happen with our life, and maybe we don't get the answer we're looking for. So I feel like there's still a modicum of control happening, and that's again part of the healing of the masculine. That's also why we try to measure things in accomplishments or milestones or goals, is because that gives us a tangible, controllable sense of value, sense of accomplishment. Not just like I feel like I'm doing well. It's nope, I need to see these results. So again, we're still trying to reduce some of that over masculine infringement on the feminine. And highest potential here is 7 of Wands. And this is an interesting card to have, because she is standing up, or figure, I'm not sure if it's a she or a he, is standing up with her hand on her heart, ready to face any challenge. I think I would like to clarify this card, because it's a defensive card to me, and I don't understand why we're getting, never mind, I do understand. Because this is about defending ourselves, defending our progress, defending our mindset. And if you need to say to someone, look, I don't feel like going out, or that isn't right for me, and they give you a hard time, you need to stand up for that, even if you don't have a logical reason why. Another thing that we tend to do is we over-explain our reasons, because again, the masculine wants logic. We think we have to over-explain ourselves, like, no thanks, I don't want to go with you, we found a different price, or we've moved on, or it's just, and I'm talking about like with a contractor, for example, all you have to say is no thank you. You don't have to give a whole story, or a friend says, hey, would you like to join me for coffee? No thanks. I mean, if it's a close friend, you could say no thanks, I'm needing some alone time or some downtime, but you don't have to explain or justify. Like, okay, for example, someone asks you to go out for a social event you don't feel like you have the energy for. All you have to say is, no thank you, I need some me time right now, or no thanks, I've got other plans. You don't have to go into, I've been feeling really down and my boss gave me all this stuff, and if I don't take this time for myself, I don't know how I'm going to handle everything else that's coming at me. That's like over explaining, trying to get the other person to relate to you and to agree with you. Seven of Wands just says, just be where you are. If you feel like you're doing well, be proud of that and tell people, yeah, I feel like I'm doing well. And if they say why, I just am, Or if you get information, if you get something intuitively, you don't have to explain why. You don't have to have all the specific answers. You just know, I know this is the way we need to go. There's now the feminine energy, that part of what the Queen of Swords was teaching you to do is teaching you how to stand up for yourself just unequivocally, without justification and without hesitation. So that's going to feel very strange for some of us. Saying, no, I don't want to do that. I don't feel good about that. I can't tell you why, but I don't feel good about it. And honoring that. If the other person doesn't, that's okay. And, again, because we have held our feminine energy back, the masculine energy doesn't know how to relate to that. But we are in a process of teaching, rehabilitating, really reteaching the masculine in ourselves and other people how to relate to our healthy feminine. And that involves standing up for our boundaries, standing up for ourselves, standing up for our intuition, and standing up for who we are at the core essence. Vibrant, receptive, responsive, loving, kind, but full of courage and integrity. Okay? Those are all of the things that the divine feminine is coming back to, and we're part of that process. As we work on ourselves, we help those around us, even if we don't see the tangible results. Energetically, it opens space and it invites more in. So thank you so much for joining me for this reading. If you found it helpful, I'd love to hear from you. And if you're also looking for more specific guidance on your own path, I do have some offerings that will really help you get to the next level. So you're welcome to check out soulguidancewithAdriana.com. The link is also in the description below, and I'll see you next time.